Hi, guys. It's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Oh, we got Donald's daughter in again today. Hi, Donald's daughter. Yes. Angie, you're on time. Me almost too. I was a minute off, but I was doing something. What is today? Right now it is Thursday. Guys, week's almost over. Tomorrow's Friday. Wonder what judge is going to dress like tomorrow. So I already know I'm still playing the trial. That's it. Just so you know. I have to. I do. People want to see it. I already know, and I'm still playing the trial. And then we got an update. After the trial, we got an update from someone we saw Monday. And then we have the Sov Cit. And he's great. I didn't see it all. I only saw a little bit, just enough to find out where it is and what it is. So, and I didn't watch the trial. I only watched enough to know. And then, I'm gonna watch it with you. We're all gonna watch this together. Even though you probably already saw the stuff said 100 times on 100 channels by now. But, that's the way it goes. So, let's go to Harris County. Lori, I was talking about you yesterday. Yes, I was. Oh, we had a truck driver yesterday, Lori. And I was like, "Man, where is Lori?" She would be able to say so much right now. Donald's probably out riding his bicycle right now, so leave him alone. It's good that he does that. Or he's hooking up his trailer and going traveling. I wonder where he's traveling to next. Is he gonna go to more courtrooms? It's so cool to see Donald in courtrooms. Okay. Let's start with the trial, guys. Let's jump right into the trial. People who are late are going to be mad they missed the
Hey,
trial,
Fozzie.
but
Yeah, guys, ready?
did you say hey, Fozzie?
Your client.
Did you hear that?
All rise for the jury.
All right, you made it back. Please be seated. Thank you so much for coming back. Sorry it took us a little bit longer to get you here. We have a lot of housekeeping matters that we take care of outside of your presence so that we try to make it a smooth trial so that you don't have to come in and out. What's going to go now is we will have opening statements from both parties. After that, the state will put on their case. After they're done putting on their case, defense will, and then that's it. All right, so let's do opening state. Would you like to do an opening?
The state waives the opening and reserves close.
Okay. Defense?
We'd love to give an opening, but I think the rules provide that if the state, we can this time.
You want to as well?
Well, we have to, I've done the rules.
I
Okay.
ready? Play
Yes,
first witness.
the state calls Officer Patino.
Where's Stephen go? Did he get? Yeah. Did you get the first witness?
What's the name?
Officer Patino.
Your Honor, the officer has not been sworn.
All right, would you please come up? Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, we'll have you take a seat. We're going to ask you to please speak loudly, clearly. If you hear the word objection, just stop, address it, and at that point, after we have you, okay? All right,
No.
please.
Good morning, officer. Please introduce yourself to the jury. Sorry. Would you please speak up so we can all hear you? My name is Brittany Sue.
Much better. Thanks, lady. At least we can hear the candy. Come on, Steven, you got this, please. Bonjour.
Could you please spell your name for the record?
It's Britany, last name Cuttino, Cuttino.
And what do you do for a living? And what agency do you work for? What did you have to do to become police officer? What kind of training? Have to go through any special training or education?
And then I went to find out month training, which is for me, right, to another officer.
Are you still employed with the Houston Police Department?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you been a police officer?
About 2.5 years.
What are your duties as a police officer?
I'm a visual officer, so I answer calls for services.
And are you a certified peace officer in the state of Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is your current shift?
I work in shift, which is 3 to 11.
Did you ever, in the course of your employment, handle criminal trespass investigations?
Yes, ma'am.
About how many? Was it a lot or just a few?
A lot.
And does a criminal investigation, the investigation for a criminal trespass, does it always end in an arrest?
Judge, I'm going to object in relevance of that question about what other investigations result in.
Keep it, please.
On December 1st, 2023, were you on duty?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you dressed in a full uniform and wearing a badge?
Yes, ma'am.
And where were you at approximately 7 p.m. on December 1st, 2023?
At 4819 Winter Street.
Is it in Harris County, Texas?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you dispatched to that location or were you just on patrol?
I was dispatched.
What were you dispatched for?
I believe it was for a burglary in progress.
Judge, the state needs to admit State Exhibit 1, which is a 911 call with a business record affidavit.
Okay,
And Judge, we've got a pretty lengthy that we may want to address it outside the presence. So as to approach, but the business records affidavit that they have was not attached to any of the records that they purport to offer. Additionally, there's multiple layers of hearsay within that record you may need to review, Judge.
Judge, that is a self-moving affidavit and the copy was provided to defense more than 14 days in advance and there were no objections.
I'm sorry. What is it?
Oh, I'm sorry. It is a self-moving business record affidavit and a copy was provided to defense more than 14 days prior in accordance with the Texas Rules of Evidence 90210. And there were no objections to that before.
Well, Judge,
Provided.
I may respond, Judge. I'm
Sure.
objecting now And that affidavit says attached are business records. There were no records that were attached to that affidavit. There were items that were produced months ago, and an affidavit that mysteriously popped up a couple weeks ago that had nothing attached to it. So the records that I believe that they're offering to introduce now were not attached to any business records affidavit. In addition, the substance.
So
of-
I'm assuming that you have the 911 tape, right? And you had a business records affidavit attached to the 911, correct? Okay, and the business records affidavit referenced the 911 tape, did it not?
No, Judge, it could not have been attached. That business records affidavit was prepared in August of just last month. The records that were turned over that were not attached to any affidavit were turned over either December or January of either last year or this year. In addition, the substance of the 911 call has multiple layers of hearsay, and I think this court would need to review that.
Like an
But all
onion.
that hearsay is not accounted for. And so there's double hearsay issues. There's
This
confrontation.
is why I wanted to get into this prior to
Double
trial, so that we
Hearsay
could
issues.
address this prior to trial, so we didn't have to,
Judge,
you
I'll
know?
move on.
Sorry?
We will withdraw. We'll move on.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
So officer, you were dispatched, what were you dispatched for again?
For pollution in progress,
Okay, and what type of location was it?
it was home.
And did you come into contact with Mr. Xavier Simmons?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you recognize him if you saw him now?
Yes, ma'am.
If is he in courtroom today?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please point him out by the clothing he's wearing?
He's wearing a blue button shirt and gray slacks.
Okay. Please let the record reflect that the officer has identified the defendant.
It will so reflect.
Thank you. Officer, does your department require you to have any type of recording equipment on duty?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of equipment is that?
Our body with cameras.
And did you have your department issued body worn camera on you that day on your person?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it functioning properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Mel.
Judge, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Officer, I am showing you what was previously marked as State's Exhibit 1. Do you recognize this?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
It's my body with camera footage.
Does it fair?
Did you shower today? Or are you a filthy animal, CJ?
And accurately reflect the events on December 1st, 2023, the way you observed them?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, may I tender the copy to the defense for any objections?
Please.
And may I just ask a brief question on board, Dr. Judge?
Okay.
Officer Catino, you've had a chance to watch the file that is on this video, correct?
Yes, sir.
Judge, we have no objection.
Okay, it'll be admitted under, this will be states 1,
State's Exhibit 1, Judge.
and you said it's the body worn camera. Okay,
Judge,
Permission to
I
publish?
have no
Please.
objection either. But it would be nice if we could see it, Judge. It won't hurt. You'll be all medicated.
yes, please.
That's great. I love that. All right, here we go, technology. Oh, he's there.
Officer, do you recognize this location?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
It's 4819 Memphis Street.
Okay. So.
We have a call about the finish. Are you guys there?
Oh my gosh, that's much better. Thank you, Judge.
Well, you are, you're in the. No, I got to say my. Yeah, we're trying to figure out who the house is. Okay, who are your people? You got their phone number? I know that this house is been empty, and you're just in here. Okay, but you're, okay, how do I know that this was a tenant? How do I know that this was here?
I am pausing the video at 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Okay.
So officer, when you responded, was it already dark outside?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you observe the house have a garage door?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it open or closed?
It was both of them.
Did you observe any damage to it?
No, ma'am.
Was the house occupied?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, objection, speculation.
And if she knows, overruled.
So was the house occupied
Yes, ma'am.
by, was anybody living there?
Again, Judge, objection, speculation.
She's asking her a question.
She knows, Judge.
It's okay, we'll move on. So, in the process of your investigation, did you speak with other people on scene?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and did any of them own the? Again, personal knowledge, it's not offered for a truthful matter, sir, it's just the process of the investigation.
Well,
Repeat your question, please.
Did any of the people on scene own the house?
No, ma'am.
Wait, hold on. Remember, when you hear objection, don't do anything.
I asked if anybody, I first asked the officer in the process of her investigation, did she speak with other people on scene? And my next question was.
Well, she said, did she speak to? She's not eliciting hearsay yet.
well, the
And
next,
after
Yeah.
that, I asked, did any of them own the house? I didn't ask if anybody said anything, I just.
She's asking if anyone owned the house. That's all she's asking. That's not eliciting a statement
well,
from someone else.
Judge, if
Just-
I respond, if the question is, did you speak to people? And after speaking to people.
She didn't ask that, though.
Well, that's what I.
She didn't ask that. She asked, did anyone own the house? Now, if she takes it a step further, did someone say something, then she'll have to qualify. I get it.
And lack of personal knowledge about whether anyone that she spoke with.
That's presumptive.
Your Honor, it's okay, I can rephrase, did anybody, in the course of the investigation, did anybody provide the proof of ownership of the
And
house?
that calls for hearsay
No.
and confrontation.
Okay.
Officer, did anyone own the house?
No, ma'am.
Were the owners of the house present on scene while you were there?
No, ma'am.
Did the defendant make any statements about whose house it was?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was that statement?
He stated that the house was his people's house.
And did he tell you who his people were?
No, ma'am.
Did he provide a name, a number, contact information, anything at all like that?
No, ma'am.
Did you attempt
She won't eat them. She's spoiled. She won't eat them.
to find out who the owners were during your investigation?
Yes, ma'am.
I am resuming the video at 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
I'm gonna buy her a present. Thank you.
I'm pausing the video at 2 minutes, 12 seconds. Officer, at that point, did you make a decision to arrest Mr. Simmons yet?
No, ma'am.
So, were you still in the process of investigation?
Yes.
I'm resuming video at 2 minutes, 12 seconds.
Right now, we're just investigating, okay? You're not under arrest.
I am pausing the video at 1 minute, 47 seconds. Officer, at that point, was the defendant under arrest? Yes.
No, ma'am.
What was he detained for?
For officer safety. And further investigation.
Okay. I am going to resume the video at 1 minute, 47 seconds. Officer, was that later on in your investigation?
Yes, ma'am.
Criminal trespass. No.
Officer, when you arrived on scene, when you were investigating, did the defendant make any statements about him being in the house?
He said that he was at his people's house.
After you have concluded your investigation, did you make a decision for an arrest?
Yes, ma'am.
And at that point, did he make any statements about being in the house?
Just the statement of him not being in the house at the end.
Officer, when you arrived on scene, was defendant already outside?
No, ma'am.
Did you see him walk out?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did you see him walk out of?
from where the front door was.
And upon gathering everyone's statements, what was the next step in your investigation?
It was to call the DA.
Okay. Did you do any follow-up investigation? Was there any more investigation required for you to complete?
Yes, ma'am.
What was it?
I got in contact with the bank to get the property manager's permission.
Okay. So did you locate the current owner of the house?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you speak to him?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the next step in the investigation?
I got their statement.
And the next step after that?
Once it was determined that, the defendant didn't have permission to be on the property,
And Judge, I'm gonna object to hearsay.
Judge, this is,
What's your question?
what was the next step in your investigation?
Well, I think she
Okay.
determined from the phone call.
Don't testify about what someone told you unless they ask you the question and we rule on it for hearsay purposes, okay? All right.
So, officer, during your investigation, did you have to file a warrant?
yes, ma'am.
What kind of warrant was it?
It was a 2B warrant for criminal trespass and taxation.
What's a 2B warrant?
It's basically a warrant after the fact. You gather all the information, you inform the DA and then accept charges and contract to work for the rest.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So 2B warrants is when you gather information, you give it to the DA, they accept charges, warrant is written, and the person is arrested on a later date.
And on whom did you file the warrant?
Xavier's minutes,
Officer, is that the same Xavier Simmons that you just identified earlier in the courtroom?
yes, ma'am.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay.
Officer Patino, you I think in the video, you said that you got dispatched out to the scene for a call for a disturbance. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And when you arrived, and you weren't driving the vehicle, were you?
No, sir.
Okay, that was your partner, Officer Lee. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And it was nighttime,
Yes, sir.
and it had been wet outside that day. Do you recall?
Yes, sir.
And Officer Lee didn't park in front of this residence, did he? That 4819 Winfrey, he didn't park in front of that home.
He parked in front of the driveway.
He parked in front of the neighbor's driveway, is that right?
Yes,
May I approach and refresh your memory? Would you like to take a look at your video to refresh your memory about that?
yes, sir.
Judge, may I approach?
Don't get me started. Michael, do you see what Fozzie typed?
Does that refresh your memory about where Officer Lee parked when his vehicle arrived that night?
Yes, sir.
And where was that?
I'm sorry.
And where was it that he parked?
In between the driveways?
Okay, between the driveways. And there was a pretty expansive distance between those two driveways, right?
Sure.
And it's separated by an incomplete sidewalk?
Explain that, sir?
Well, there's a sidewalk that starts on one driveway and continues, but does not complete before it reaches the second driveway in front of the neighbor's house, right?
I'm not sure, sir.
May I refresh your, may I show you? Well, yeah, maybe it's faster if I do this way. Because I'd like to approach and show us.
Yeah.
I'm showing you what is Defense Exhibit 1. If you could just take a moment to watch this and I'll ask. Identify this as your body.
Is there video on? Where? Talking about Bon Jovi. Wasn't he born in Jersey, Fletcher? He sleeps when my streams are on. I wonder what Victoria and Melissa are doing right now, besides throwing things around.
You've had a chance to review that. You identify this as your body cam. Is that a true and accurate depiction of your body cam?
Yes, sir.
Judge, I'll tender to opposing counsel. Will, after their review, move to offer defendants Exhibit 1.
It's the same, this the same,
It's longer. Judge.
okay, the complete version?
No, it's
Longer.
not the complete version, but
Yeah.
it's longer from the beginning and there's no sound.
It's longer and there's no sound.
It's still the Catino body worn camera though, right?
That's right, Judge.
Okay.
You're sidebar briefly. Yes.
No objection, Joe.
Admitted.
And judge, permission to publish, this defendant's exhibit
Sure,
one.
of course. What time was this? Was this
7 P.M.
7 PM?
Yes, sir. And I'm gonna pause the video right here, Officer Catino. Where you're currently shining your flashlight in the video, that is the neighbor's driveway, correct? Okay, and that sidewalk that is incomplete, there's a portion of grass. Do you see that portion of the sidewalk?
Yes, sir.
That portion connects to the home that is in question, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And so the home we're looking for is to the left.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's the driveway that's got a car parked in front of it with the lights on.
Yes, sir.
And so you park, by your testimony, between those two driveways, correct?
Yes, sir.
By any chance, did anybody see this person just walk in? Is a great big cowboy hat. I'm gonna call it a Stetson. He has a great big Stetson. I just need to know if that's Trinidad because Trinidad wearing a great big Stetson. Come on, that's perfect.
Pausing the video again, this gentleman is Mr. Ollison, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And he approached you on the sidewalk between the two driveways, correct?
Yes, sir.
So when you got out of your vehicle, you walked up onto that sidewalk that connects the homes, but you did not make it all the way to the driveway, right?
No, sir.
And from here, you do not move any closer to the driveway or towards the front door of that home, correct?
Are you talking about throughout the night?
Well, I'm sorry, I'll rephrase. Until Mr. Simmons makes contact with you.
Yes, sir.
So it is at this point, from this vantage point on your body cam, that Mr. Simmons ends up walking also up to you.
Yes, sir.
And this is your body cam that HPD issues and you wear on the front of your uniform, correct?
That's correct, sir.
And the purpose of that is to accurately capture information,
Yes, sir.
and it can protect officers.
Yes, sir.
It can protect witnesses.
Yes, sir.
It can protect defendants
Yes, sir.
because it provides a very neutral depiction of what actually took place.
Another question?
Yes,
Thank
it
you.
provides a neutral depiction of what took place, correct?
Objection, counsel testifying.
Judge,
Yes.
well, the body cam's not biased, is it?
No, we can be honest.
And this body cam does not show the front door of the residence, does it?
No, sir.
And that's because the way this home is shaped, the garage extends and the home and the front door is further back about the full length of the garage. Correct?
Repeat your question, sir.
Okay,
And
so
the
that was
reason you can't see
awesome.
the front door of this
Yes.
residence is because the garage extends forward into the driveway and the front door of the home is set further to the back, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so you saw Mr. Ollison emerged from around the car and walked towards the front of the vehicle, correct?
No, sir.
Did he walk from a different part of the vehicle? And I can
Oh,
remember.
I'm sorry, Mr. Allison.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
And that's Mr. Ollison walking from around the front of the vehicle, correct?
yes, sir.
And there was a young lady that was holding a baby that came from behind the vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, Leo.
And that is when you walked nearly the full length of this sidewalk and met Mr. Ollison on that sidewalk, right?
Yes, sir.
And from here, Mr. Simmons ultimately walked from behind the vehicle and meet you also on that sidewalk.
Yes, sir.
And you had gotten no closer than this vantage point that this body cam shows, correct?
Yes, sir.
The body cam that does not show the front door and that you cannot see from this location.
No, sir.
And so your testimony that Mr. Simmons, you observed him walk out of the front door, that was incorrect.
No, sir.
You watched him walk out of the front door of the home.
That's not what I said, sir.
Well, what did you say?
I said that the defendant walks from the front door area.
From the front door area.
Yes, sir.
You had a chance to write an offense report in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you had a chance to review that offense report in preparation for your testimony today?
Yes, sir.
And may I approach the witness?
Yes, please.
Okay, while he's doing that, is that Trinidad
And
right there?
what are offense reports?
It's just reports, and that we write the.
But to memorialize what your observations were on a particular call for service, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And you prepared one in this case.
It is another Stetson.
This report is
Which
written
is
by.
what I call all hats.
Well, you prepared an offense report in this case.
That report is with Officer William. So yes,
Well, I'm sorry, my question is, did you prepare a report in this case?
yes, sir.
Okay. Is this your report?
Yes, sir.
And does it say report officer?
Yes, sir.
And this is on the page that is your report?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if you would look at this sentence.
Yes, sir.
Is that?
Bossy, I think you realize what you said, but I don't know if you realize what you said, so I'm gonna tell you what you said. Bossy was just complaining about how long it took for him to question about where they parked their cars, which really has absolutely nothing to do with, whether this guy was inside the house or outside the house. But I'm doing the trial, the Kelly trial, and at nauseum they talk about where they parked the police cars, which really has absolutely nothing to do with anything at all in this case. And the lawyers just keep asking questions over and over again, the same question in a slightly different way. It's really not okay.
Refresh your memory about whether you stated in your report on December 1st that you observed Mr. Simmons walking from the front door.
Yes, sir.
And your testimony is now that you saw him walking from the area of the front door.
Yes, sir.
So you never saw him in that home.
No, sir.
And you had a chance to talk with the prosecutor in this case in preparation for your testimony today, correct?
Yes, sir.
And during that conversation, did you have a chance to discuss whether you saw Mr. Simmons walk out of the front door of the house?
I'm sorry, sir.
In that conversation with, and was that with Ms. Contreras? Is that who you had a chance to discuss the case with?
Yes, sir.
And was that last week in anticipation of testifying today?
I believe so.
And in that conversation, did you tell her that you saw the defendant walk out of the front door of the house?
I stated that the defendant walked out of the front door area. Yes, sir.
Not that he walked out of the front door of the house?
There's only a door over there, sir.
I'm sorry?
There's only a door that's in that area.
Well, it's a entire porch area, correct?
Yes, sir.
And a sidewalk that leads up to that front door area.
There wasn't anyone on the sidewalk, sir.
Well, you can't see that sidewalk from your body cam there, correct?
Sir, it's.
No,
never mind.
well, you can't see that sidewalk from your body cam, correct?
From my body cam, yes, sir.
Okay. Well, and it's obstructed by a car from where you're standing in this video, right?
Yes, sir.
And you can't see what's around that corner leading all the way up to the front door, can you? From this vantage point.
From my body cam, no, sir.
Well, your head can't get much closer than your body can to look around that corner, can it?
Yes, yes, it can.
From
Yes.
where you're standing.
No, sir.
So your testimony is that you did not tell the prosecutor that you saw the defendant walk out of the front door of the house.
No, sir.
So if the prosecutor wrote that in her notes, that would be incorrect.
No, sir. Oh, yes, sir.
You, following this, tried to find out who was the person that this property, well, you tried to determine who the property belonged to, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that took some work, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
And what you identified was a person who's a real estate broker for that home. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And that's Mr. Swope.
Yes, sir.
Did you learn that this property that was in dispute had gone through a foreclosure?
Yes, sir.
And did you learn that?
Judge, objection, not personal knowledge, and
Okay.
it's outside the scope of
Come on.
direct.
Been- Go.
Well, if we could just approach about that matter, I'll tell you why it's.
I think you've made your point already. You know what I mean?
We got a question.
No. For what for? Don't. Okay,
Well, I think there's questions about whose home this is, Judge, and that's why these matters are relevant.
Doesn't matter.
Well, then the objection stands because we do personal knowledge, the officer's gonna have personal knowledge as to the ownership of the home, that's why she investigates and seeks the owner of the home and establishes that in her investigation. This is,
what was your exact question again?
Well, she had learned that in her investigation that they also went into about whose home it was. She learned that there had been a recent foreclosure on the home.
Judge, the officer didn't say anything about foreclosure or anything like that in the scope of the direct examination.
Well, I don't know that she said anything about foreclosure specifically. She's talking about whose property it is.
Some of them are really good. Yes, they are.
And so you learned that there had been a recent foreclosure on the home, correct?
I learned that the previous owners are no longer the property owner.
You learned that they were the property owner,
But it doesn't matter. No
and
one saw him in the house.
those previous owners were themselves going through a divorce case. You learned that in your investigation, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you learned that there was a foreclosure. Did you learn that there was an eviction process that was pending at the time of this?
No, sir.
You did not learn that there was an eviction process that did not get completed until afterwards?
No, sir, that would be something that I don't know.
And when you spoke with Mr. Swope, he didn't inform you of that, did he?
Not that I remember.
And you had no notation of that in your offense report, did you, about the eviction?
No, sir, I don't think so.
Have made some notation in your report about
Not sure, sir.
it. Judge will ask the witness at this time.
Okay.
Briefly direct, Your Honor. if I
Yes,
may.
ma'am.
Thank you. Judge, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
Officer, I am showing you what was previously marked as State's Exhibit 2. Do you recognize this?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
It's the driveway and the front area of the previous location.
Was it taken with any of your department issue equipment on that day?
Yes, ma'am, possession.
Donald, I think you might be replaced. Your daughter is green. Casey, Carrie turned your daughter green. And now you were late.
Okay, and does it fairly and accurately represent what you observed on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, I'm going to render the copy to defense for any objections.
Okay.
Guys, you want to see? You guys want to see something funny? I'm going to type a word in chat. Color. I'm going to type the word color in chat. And then we're going to watch Brett and Fozzie.
This vantage point is not any vantage point that you had, is that correct? The vantage point of this picture, and if I may approach, I'll let you review. This was not your vantage point at this point. I'm sorry, prior to encountering Mr. Simmons, correct?
No, sir.
That's a vantage point of some other camera
Yes, sir.
that was equipped to your vehicle.
Yes, sir.
Judge, my only objection is that this was not named in their exhibit list.
Your Honor, this was For the purposes of rebuttal, due to the fact that there were some vantage point questions, we wanted to admit the dash cam point of view.
It's up to you. Do you still want to
Dash
edit it?
cam, we moved to admit it still, the only objection, but it's still showing up the dash cam.
But whose camera is it though?
It's the patrol officer, patrol dash cam, sorry.
Dash camera of the patrol unit of Officer Bettina.
She's sitting passenger seat as it pulls up, so she was actually.
He said he's not opposed to that. And actually, that you and that word is useless as nipples on a man. It really is. It's court. Just why?
Even inside.
They give you the right to knit, so, the, one officer is driving, the other is in the front seat.
Can I take a look at it real quick?
Yes, yes.
Does it show anything of? Yeah.
No, that's poet. That's poet.
Where is this?
That's
This is
in
the
front of
residence.
house, that's where the officer parked her unit, there.
What?
Darn it, I wanted my thumb to say Pavel got a great haircut and I forgot.
Is this Officer Lee's?
When they're together in the car. And she said a passenger, but she said this is not at any point before encountering him, her advantage. So we would object to.
For what purpose are you trying to?
I played bike.
Hold on. Yeah. No, make your statement. Tell me, say what you're trying to say. Complete.
It's the. If I were to admit the whole dash cam, it's the same dash cam, it's the screen where we just did. So to show point of view where they pulled up. That's it.
Is there something that in one of the videos that shows him coming out of the house? Is this showing a vantage point of someone else who sees this person coming out of the house? So what does this add?
That's where they parked because that was.
Does it add? To,
Oh yes.
you know?
Absolutely. 100%.
Where they parked because that was questioned.
And if I may respond. I think there's several issues. I think one, relevance. I don't know that that is where they park. That could be very resilient.
Hold on.
It's clear where she gets out and steps in, which is between the driveway. Later in the camera, there's a video of the neighbor calling backing out, having to go around there. Her body cam speaks to her vantage point. To offer this as where the car was, or to offer this as some vantage point that's unduly suggested. We would object to the relevance of this particular picture. We would object that this is 403.
And then was this not provided as part?
And that was my first objection, that this was not a listed. They did give me a video in discovery. What they did not do is list this on their list of exhibits that they intended to offer the trial. And so, but I think it's those three objections.
We can go down just to clarify something within the picture.
We also think it misleading as to her vantage.
And that's my concern was that the body camera showed when she enters and it gets onto the actual scene that's how it's shown. Showing something different. You know?
It's not a justified.
The house and the door is way up here.
It's right there. This house. No,
Right, but the door's way up
no,
here.
doors to the right of this. No, no, no. Yes, to the right of this.
Do me a favor, you take a chair out.
I was about to.
Let's, jury, I'm gonna take you out for just 2 minutes. We're gonna take a restroom break, number one. I need to talk to them further. And then I'm gonna bring you back 5 minutes,
And
okay,
I'm
guys?
calling Will's
All
wife.
rise for the jury.
Let her know how great he is.
Hold on.
We can speak.
Okay.
We'll go one by one. My apologies.
All I did was type
This
one word, guys.
case is, you can't hear me now?
That was Ramona.
The case is flagged as a criminal trespass, right,
Correct.
of a habitation.
Correct.
It's not just a regular criminal trespass where it could be curtilage or whatnot.
B24 Liberator, how are you doing?
It's actual in the house.
Yes.
What other witness do you have?
It's for-
This witness has testified she didn't see him in there. Am I right?
Yes.
No, she tested, no, she did not say walk out the front door. She did not say that. I mean, you can, but she's already testified. She saw him. Like, she did not see him inside. I mean, am I wrong? Listen, am I wrong? You know?
I understand.
And I don't want to beat a dead horse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
Yeah.
We have 10 minutes.
For sure. Absolutely. Of course. Counsel?
Your Honor.
Oh, you need, right,
Yeah,
okay,
he doesn't
sorry.
have,
No, you don't have anyone else. Fair enough. Sorry, guys. No, fair enough.
Yeah, she can come down. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get him back, but it gets bumpy.
We'll go. Okay.
Finding the right place. He comes back and then he leaves again. Hi, Ramona. And then he comes back and leaves again. Hold on, I got the wrong one.
I mean, it is what it is. And show me where it says that. No. Well, you said, according to the rule, if they don't make an opening, you can't either. Show, because 3601B doesn't say that. But it doesn't say that. I was reading it. I've been trying to And it's 3601B. It's always been that, like, I mean, and traditionally, like, if the state waives their opening, right? At that point, they put on their,
I think it's B, Judge, or B. So A doesn't say it, but B does.
hold on a second.
But B does not, in fact, say it.
Yeah.
Give me back to the man.
Six states. Mr. Dixon, do you tell us how to
Where?
read your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
It doesn't say that you can't.
Well,
It just says that at the conclusion of their opening statement. It doesn't say you can't.
Well, as I read it, it says, we may make the opening statement for the defendant immediately after the attorney representing the state makes the opening statement for the state.
Okay.
Because generally,
That's May is your first one, May, number one.
well, two things. So one, the actual order is supposed to be that they give their opening, they present their witnesses, I give my opening, I present my witnesses. But B gives an option that where they give theirs, I may give mine at that time
Sure.
or defer until the second half.
Sure.
And
It
so,
doesn't say that if they don't want to, you can't.
well,
It doesn't say that, though.
well, reading, I think both in conjunction, it has always been my understanding that if they don't give one, it precludes us from giving one.
I don't read that.
Well, 3601 Part A says I've got to wait until
Right,
my
so,
case in chief.
yeah, that I agree with.
And it says that if they give one, then I may give mine. And they didn't give one, so.
And you're reading into it that you can't. I don't think, but
How often does he hear that? How often does that lawyer hear those words that Mel typed?
I don't,
Wish
you're
I
reading
would've-
into it, but I
wish
don't
would've
think, I don't,
taken you
Didn't
up
say
on it.
B.
I don't see that. Because you can do anything you want until someone says no, and it doesn't say no.
Well,
Why not?
I would have availed myself.
And I mean, haven't we done it before anyways?
No.
What?
Because somebody gave you a rule or something, and they, some kind of document.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it's moot because we didn't do it anyways, but
So my teachers actually would have given me an F if I did that. F, F, F. Lots of F bombs dropping here. F, 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 F. The nuns, I had a lot of nuns in school, would really, really have been very, very mad if I spelled any of those words like that. I'm just scared looking at them.
I don't.
So a good story,
But yeah, but I mean, at your opening, of course, yes.
a good story that Mike again told me, that Percy Foreman told him, I don't know how true it is, you know, some of those stories, that the state waived their beginning, closing, or reserved it. And made him go first. And this was with a prosecutor that had a lazy eye. And so he says, Percy Foreman got up and said, well, that was a interesting trick that he just pulled. He reserved his closing. That way he could hear everything I have to say, and I won't be able to hear anything that he has to say. But what I want you to do for me is before you believe anything that comes out of that guy's mouth, I want you to make him look you right in the eye.
That's,
So, probably not tell that on.
It's already out there.
Well,
yeah. Okay, look, I don't have to state. I don't have to state. No, he can't, he doesn't have a bond. He's out there. We get, they're both, so we don't have anyone. So you have to cool your jets. Hold your horses.
Ma'am, have a seat.
Oh, right now. Who is it on?
Sanchez,
Sanchez Vasquez.
page 30.
Also, there was a guy who picked up a new case while I'm gone. John D's client, Guzman. Yeah, I'm gonna raise that bond to 5,003 on both of them.
Okay, I think right now we get an update on a case we saw on Monday. Wait, did we end the trial yet? No, we're still waiting for the trial to be over. Okay. Once we see Pavel walk up, there they come. This is, there we go. This is the end.
What do you want to do?
You already filed this on that.
Okay, let me go. I'm gonna go release them real quick. I'm gonna go release them.
Okay.
You wanna-
Oh, the jury? Yeah, sure. I mean, no, no need.
He said it so fast. He said, that I'm going to file a dismissal on that. So case is dismissed. Trial's over. That was it, guys. It's done. Thank you, Casey. Thank you. So he's going to dismiss the jury and then he'll come back. And then we'll have an update on a case we saw Monday. And then we'll move right to the Sov Cit.
There was nothing they evaluated here. Yeah. I mean, you can request it with prejudice, but the jury's already sat, so it's gonna be with prejudice.
That's the way trials go.
I guess so.
Are you?
Not with
I don't
prejudice.
think you
No,
can-
without prejudice.
I just can't file.
Can you approach?
I can approach, yes.
Can you do PC?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. All right, let's do it.
Well, mine's not PC. Mine was the fellow who got arrested in court for bond violation on Monday. And you had suggested that we come back today.
What's his last name again?
Mobley. And I would hope that at this point, whatever therapy from the.
Stephen, do you mind bringing out Mobley, please?
I'll bring him
out, Your
You were actually trying a criminal trespass?
Yeah.
I've always
It was
wanted.
really, it was, I mean, it was interesting, you know, because it was more so a play on words because of what she put in the offense report. I guess it led them to believe that he was inside of the house when she could never testify he was in.
Oh, nice.
So they did the right thing in dismissing it because, but I would have done it directed anyways. So.
I've got a UMV upstairs where the offense report is pull over freshly stolen vehicle, arrest driver, call victim. Victim is, it was stolen yesterday. I have the keys. I've given no one permission to drive it. They call her today for the rip. I left the keys in the car. Whoever stole it just, he was running and took it away. Also, nobody called me. You have my car? Where's my car?
What?
Yeah, and offense dates 2 months ago. So 2 months, her car's been sitting in a property lot because no one told her.
Incurring fees or no?
I would presume that it's incurring fees.
$2,000. Yeah.
Yeah, being in, on this side, not that side, I don't know about the money, but I do know the DH.
Do you have some, do you want to talk about something? What's your client's name? Have you, it's a really old case.
We're trying to finish it up this week.
Have you submitted everything that needs to be submitted or no?
Everything, we just need to send the contract out. We're just waiting for the TRAS evaluation.
Can you verify that everything's been submitted on Jose Rodriguez?
Yes, it looks like it's waiting on the contract.
Okay,
Me
all right, we'll set
too.
you off.
The
Do you
trailblazer.
guys have the TRAS? Does it show that? The
I
TRAS?
emailed it to Brenda earlier.
Yes.
You do have a TRAS.
Okay, all right, so we'll set you off 2 to 2.5 weeks in, okay? All right. If he doesn't have the interlock and pay the DA fee, he has to be here at the next setting. And tell him that I'm gonna roll him day for day until he has it. It's too old.
He qualified for the
Ozzy, that's what I was gonna
So we
say.
just have to do the inner.
I was just gonna say, how many stones is that? You beat me.
Oh, you qualified for it? Oh, great, okay. Okay, yes, ma'am.
For curiosity's sake, when does the clerk get the TRAS? I don't think.
No. Shatoria.
Oh,
Shatoria's over there.
oh yeah, I'm just thinking of people who are not in the right spot. Okay. All right.
Mr. Mobley, how's jail?
You confused me in your location.
How's jail?
Sure.
Good. That makes me very happy. Because when you have a bad time, that means you're more likely to listen and take us seriously. When I mean there's a curfew, I mean there's a curfew. And when you're out at 3:50 in the morning, that's where you end up, in Orange. So he wants me to let you out again. Can you handle being on a curfew? Because
Yeah,
if you're not,
okay, so Ramona is sitting over, like, over here somewhere, over even a little bit more. Shatora is sitting, well, Shatora is sitting in Melissa's chair, or maybe right beside, I don't know, but they're all in different seats. But even if they weren't, Victoria doesn't sit here. He said, when does the since when do coordinators get the TRAS? Victoria sits over here. Over here, not over here. Melissa sits here. So I don't know. I don't even know what's going on.
you violated again. I'm gonna let you out. You violate this again, the next time you will be stuck like Chuck until this case is over with. I'm not gonna do this with you again. Do you understand? The next time you violate curfew, you will be in jail until this case is over with, and I'm not gonna let you out. Okay, we will continue as it
Thank you,
was
Judge.
before.
So this has been a 2-week ordeal of small things. I had originally approached when he was on bond about expanding the curfew because he has a job that would require him to come home later on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Where does he work?
It's a cleaning service. What's the name of the cleaning service? Destiny Cleaners. He sent me a verification of employment.
Hours are you wanting?
Let me look. I believe it was midnight.
Hell no. Nope. I'm not, I don't want you out in the middle of the night. I don't care. Nope.
It's cleaning an office building at night, so they have to do it after.
He's gonna have to find another job. There's a gajillion, go to Amazon, Mr. Mobley, but I don't want you out in the middle of the night with what you're charged with the BMVing, stealing credit cards out of other people's cars in the middle of the night. I don't think so. Not gonna happen. You're gonna have to get another job because I don't want you out in the middle of the night. That's it. You know what's expected of you. The next time you will be in there till this thing's over with. You understand? I'm willing to work with you if you want a job that's gonna require you to work at night a little bit, but I'm not letting you out in the middle of the night. I don't want it. You understand? But if you need to work where you're working 9 to 10 o'clock at night, something like that, I'm fine with that. Like at a restaurant or whatnot.
That's what I was on there for.
But not at 12, not at 1, not at 2. I'm not doing it.
100%.
Okay.
Like 10:30, 11.
No, it's not. It's like, is this? No. I want to know that you have a job. I want proof that you have a job and I want a work schedule and then we can talk. But I'm not taking your word for it.
So I have a verification of employment, Judge. I had approached on it, but then the client wasn't present. So you asked him to be here and then the world went squirrely. It's
I think it was remote.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 6 p. to 11:30, and then Saturday, 6 p. to midnight at Destiny Cleaning Services.
Okay, I'm not letting him work in the middle of the night. Sorry.
Yes, Jack. I'll encourage
10
him to
o'clock,
find.
10 o'clock is fine, but that's it. All right, okay.
Thank you, Judge.
So we will continue on bond.
Mhm.
You will have the same curfew, but I want to know first that he's working and then he can get to the 10 p.m.
Mhm.
and then we'll go from there. All right, Mr. Mobley, good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Ozzy, what did you
And are we reinstating bond? Are we?
Okay, yes, we're reinstating bond. Let's go to the Sov Cit, guys. Yes. Time for some crazy, crazy words, crazy thoughts, crazy logic.
All right, Judge, top of page 7.
All right, Mr. Emitum, come on up. Come on up, yeah. I need Lori to put this on there.
You mean instead of the live feed? After the live feed? Do you want me to stop the live feed so I can watch the clip that you just sent me? So I know how to take advantage of it? Is this not something we could have done before the live feed? Oh, later. Later. Gotcha.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So today is September 11th, 2024. It's approximately 12:25
Is that Muhammad Ali on his shirt or not? I just can't tell.
p.m. We are now in court 5. In front of me, I have Eaton Emitum, case number 2522688. Would you please identify yourself for purpose of the record?
The man eats on Amazon.
Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? That you're going to tell the truth. That's it. Yes? Okay. State, would you identify?
Well, I drop on behalf of the state.
Okay, so the reason that we're putting this on the record now is Mr. Emitum has been charged with the offense of unlawful carrying of a weapon. The case is 40 days old. It appears that probable cause has already been found. I don't know if I did probable cause on this, or if I don't know if another judge did, because I don't remember Mr. Emitum, and I was out a week. Yeah, lollygagging. So let's just do it for.
On August 2nd, 2024, officers observed a car without a front license plate, changed lanes without a signal, and have expired registration as of March 2023. Upon approaching, officers smelled marijuana. PC search returned 4.17 grams and a loaded Smith & Wesson handgun. Additionally, there was a backpack with 3 checks that did not belong to him. Officer called Kumamoto, who said the checks were stolen from her restaurant on July 8th. When defendant broke the front window, went to the back where the checks were kept in the office, broke the hinge of the back door and exited.
So as a result, because of that, he was charged with felony fraud. on that one,
That's
on the
correct.
check. Okay. Yes, he has an open case in the 182nd. Looks like he made a $15,000 bond. With us, I am going to find there's probable cause to go forward. Ms. Well, hold on a second. We'll get there. I'll let you say your piece, but do you have a Texas driver license?
I have a US dot private property number with the FMCSA. What my vehicle was on there, it was sticker tags, everything with my business, the Amazon Estates. That's with the Department of Transportation.
Is that from the state of Texas or from where?
This is federal. This is with the Department of Transportation.
Okay, no, but you still need a Texas driver license and you need registration and
I did
on a
all my best
vehicle.
with them because it was private property that I had. They said I didn't, if I didn't need to get registration with the state of Texas because I registered it. And they said that would be my voluntary, but since it's private property, I don't have to register it.
Okay. From what I know of the law, you need a Texas driver license to be able to drive.
This is, what jurisdiction is this case being tried on? That's what I'm trying to, because I'm kind of don't know what it's being tried on.
It's
Criminal, civil? Or-
criminal, yeah,
or
right?
the-
You're facing jail time, right?
I believe so. But
Weren't you taken to jail?
Yeah.
So that wouldn't lead you to believe it's criminal, right?
yeah, but under common law, or is it military and tribune? Because also with
Oh, I've
the,
been waiting for something like this for so long. This is so much fun.
I'm just trying to see on what I'm being tried on, because what I was told with the US side, I wouldn't have to register it with the state of Texas, with the registration or licensing. I do have my own place with that vehicle too as well, so.
Do you need a license to drive, a Texas driver license? That's it. You either have one or you don't. The federal government has regulated to the states through the Constitution that they have allowed the states on their own initiative to create laws regarding driving on highways and byways. So that's why you see every single state has different requirements for licensing, insurance, mode of transportation. The federal government has somewhat to do with it, but by and large, they have delegated to the states that they are their own entity with regard to creating laws in their specific highways. So that's why every single state has a different type of license, different type of insurance. Like the Texas driver license is what, white versus Arkansas might be yellow or red, or Hawaii might be. So that's every single state has their own laws with regard. In Texas, you have to have a Texas driver license. You also have to have liability insurance as a minimum in the event that you get into an accident. Those are the two main requirements that you need to drive. If you're going to drive a vehicle, it also has to be registered so that they know that you're driving the vehicle and that you own it or have the right to have that, so it's not a stolen vehicle.
I own the vehicle and everything. When I was here the last hearing with the judge, like what he was saying, he said that when it had applied to me, but he was going to see what they were going to say about the other court, about the probable cause of stopping me, because he said registration when it had in the front license plate, when it had applied to me.
It does apply. It applies to everybody. Everybody has to have a back license plate. They also have to have a front license plate. And so much, they also tell you where it has to be on the car. They regulate, you can't put it in the windshield.
State, right?
State,
Yeah.
right. They tell you where it has to be. You can't put it on the windshield. You can't put it on, like on, what's it called? On the light. It's got to be right there. They even tell you how many centimeters it's supposed to be from the street to the actual place on the car. That's how bad the state of Texas micromanages all these things. They even tell you how many damn centimeters it's got to be on the car. So you have to have a front license plate. You got to have a license, got to have insurance. So if you don't have that, you can't drive. And that's it.
Yeah, I did tell him I was traveling. I wasn't arguing with him, but I was traveling. I wasn't making commerce. I used to do medical transportation, so I'm kind of aware with licensing and registration and everything. That's why with my private vehicles, I did that with the US DOT instead of the state. But I didn't know that was
Correct. You
interfering.
need a license. It doesn't matter whether you're saying you're conveying, whether you're traveling, whether you're, you know, driving, it's a privilege. It's not a right, right? There's a big difference between a privilege versus a right. You have the right to
I
walk.
have the right to travel, don't I?
Yeah, and taking your happy-go-lucky feet. You want to travel, take those 2 feet to travel, not in a car.
Just what the 14th Amendment was saying, like, I have the right to travel.
You do. Yes, and you can walk your happy ass from one to the other part. Not in a car though, not without a license and insurance.
Was on there, from what I did this with the Department of Transportation, they said automobiles were on there, carrier,
Wrong.
bicycles.
They're wrong. I'm just telling you now, they're wrong. Whoever told you that, whoever, where you got that, it's complete. Because imagine this, Mr. Emmett Tom, and I've seen this before. Imagine that you get into an accident, right? And you kill a 5-year-old kid. What's going to happen at that point? Whoever owns that car, the other people, they're going to come after you. They're not going to go after they're going to come after you. The first thing they're going to do is, do you have insurance? And if you don't have insurance, they're going to sue you. And then they're going to attach a lien on absolutely everything that you own to satisfy the judgment they get against you. And they will take your house, they will take your car, they will take your bank account, they will attach to where if you ever want to start working and get a paycheck, they're going to garnish all that money. You have insurance, liability insurance, so that if you ever get into an accident, you don't mean to do it. You didn't mean to kill the kid. It's not an purposement. It's an accident. And accidents happen. You might be looking at your phone, you're looking at, you know, this pretty girl that's walking across the street, and then boom, you know, you have insurance so that if that happens, the insurance company will pay on your behalf, so you don't have to pay out of your own pocket. And they will even give you a lawyer to represent you on your behalf, because that's what you pay for when you get
Do be in
insurance.
Pennsylvania.
If you get into an accident, lawyers usually call you and say, hey man, tell me what happened. Was it your fault? Or was it the other people's fault? Because we want to know who to pay. And that's why for $30 to $40 a month, you get insurance for that very purpose. And I've seen people come here, they have killed someone and they get a $250,000 judgment against them. I've seen it. And God, you'll never dig yourself out of that. So the conveying, the this, that, you need a license. You've got to have insurance. And we do it with every single person that comes here.
Can I say for the unlawful carry, the possession of marijuana, the person that was in the vehicle told the officer it was legal hemp that they got from the store. They have receipts and everything in Texas. You can have legal hemp. They got it from the store. He even told the officer it was theirs. He pulled me out the car. He didn't ask for any paperwork.
Now, I mean, now you're making apples and oranges, right? Now we got to test it. Is it weed?
Oh yeah,
Is it him? Understand that takes time, but you also need a lawyer to represent you.
I found my own discovery. I was representing myself pro se.
And you can do that if you want.
Yeah.
But we have to go through a series of questions.
I represented myself plenty of times. I had dismissals here from
Remember, and for purposes of the record, so Mr. Emmett Tom had a case with me here. It was actually June 7th of 2022. He was charged with another gun case. And that was with Victoriano. God, that was a great DA too. And I found no probable cause in that case, right? So you didn't represent yourself in that case. I found no probable cause and they dismissed it. They didn't have to dismiss it, but they did dismiss it. So other than that case, have you ever represented yourself?
Yeah, many times. Dismissals all through here from Harris County. Traffic violations.
You're welcome to do it, and who's one of the worst, who's one of the best presidents that in history that you can think about right now?
Wonderful to me right now.
You can't think of one good president that we've ever had?
I don't know any.
Abraham Lincoln, he wasn't good?
I never met him. I don't know about him at that time.
Abraham Lincoln said something. He goes, you know what? He who represents himself has a fool for a client. That's what he said. Meaning that when you represent yourself, there is an inherent conflict and there's an inherent bias. And you may not be able to see things objectively, meaning that you have your heart, you've got your soul into this case. So you may not be able to see from an outside position if they're saying something that makes sense. You're absolutely entitled to represent yourself. And if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to it. And I have no problem with you doing it. You need to understand though, if you represent yourself, you can't come at a later day and say, you know what? I had ineffective assistance of counsel. My lawyer sucked. Well, you represented yourself. You now can't complain about that. You know, if you go to trial and you lose and I end up putting your butt in jail for a year, you can't complain. You're stuck like Chuck for a whole year because that's what you're facing. You're facing a year in jail and you got a bunch of other documents too that, you know, so
My discovery from that last month that I
well,
filed.
let's do the question. So what is your full name?
Eton, she's wrote the Amazon.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 34
Where were you born?
in America.
Were you born here in Houston? Were you born in? Okay. You read and write English, right? Okay. Do you have any learning disabilities or communication handicaps? Have you ever been declared mentally incompetent or treated for any mental health disorder? Okay. You said last time I asked you about your educational background, you graduated from high school.
Graduated high school, some college,
How far did you get in college?
2.5 years.
Did you do any legal courses whatsoever?
Left that and I started doing medical transportation. I was taking classes for paramedics. I was just doing my basics. I was doing my basics.
Studying in college.
I was just doing my basics. I ain't getting into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And when you're beginning, that's all you do anyways, right? Do you have any legal training, education, or experience?
Experience with dealing with the court being charged before.
And any other legal? Do you know about the Code of Criminal Procedure?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Do you know about the Texas Penal Code?
I'm familiar, but I'm not too many familiar with a lot of statutes and codes.
Were you here for our earlier trial?
No, I went up.
I know you went to the felony court, but we were in trial earlier. Did you see what happened in trial earlier?
I had like a glimpse of it walking.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is that the lawyers on both sides had to introduce evidence. There's a specific procedure that you have to follow to have evidence admitted. It's detailed in the codes. You have to know that because once you represent yourself, I'm going to treat you as if you were a lawyer. I will hold you to the same standard. And I'm not here to put you through law school because I have way too much drama as it is. I don't need any more drama, right? So if you don't do it the right way, I'm going to shut you down, right? I like to be nice to people, but I'm not taking you to school. Do you understand this? Do you understand the charges against you?
I don't understand the nature of it.
Okay, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail. What they're saying is that you unlawfully had a weapon. As a result, you were charged, and now you're facing up to a year. Do you understand?
Yeah, what they're telling me, but I still don't understand like why I went to jail for that. That's why.
What do you not understand?
The court procedures or?
No. I'm asking about the nature of the charges. No, it's not. Don't talk about the procedures. Don't talk about the licensing, about the conveying.
Yeah, I know
No.
I'm getting charged with unlawful carry. And
Right.
The,
Do you understand that?
yeah, what's going on?
Okay. You have the right, or you understand the range of punishment that you're facing a year, correct?
That's what I've been told.
Okay. You have the right to court-appointed counsel. Do you want counsel to represent you?
I don't want legal advice. I don't need a legal team. I just want law.
If I offer you a lawyer now, would you want it? You really don't want a lawyer?
I represent myself. I could get none more by myself than anyone representing me.
Okay. Do you understand that you will not be able to claim ineffective assistance counsel if you lose at a later time, whether it's in trial, whether it's in a hearing, whether anything? Do you understand that? What that means is that you cannot appeal this thing. If you're found guilty and you go to jail, you know, a lot of lawyers or a lot of defendants like to claim, sorry guys, I'll be 2 minutes. A lot of lawyers, a lot of defendants like to blame their lawyers for screwing up. And they say, hey, man, my lawyer messed up. I can tell you, like, that's the number one thing that defendants complain about. And probably, I don't know this for sure, but I would suspect probably the number one reason why cases are overturned because of ineffective assistance of counsel, meaning that a lawyer, for one reason or other, messed up so bad that their cases have to be redone. You cannot complain about that at a later time.
I've seen that many times. That's why I'm representing myself.
But you can't, if you mess up, you cannot appeal this thing. Do you understand? Once, and if you were found guilty,
I
that's it.
probably would.
You understand? You also have to comply with the same appellate procedures if you lose, meaning that if you want to appeal for one reason or the other, you have to understand the guidelines and the timing, and you have to comply with those rules as well. Do you understand?
Mhm.
You will not be granted any special consideration because of your lack of formal training. You understand this? You may fail to properly raise points of error in the trial record if we go to trial. Meaning that if we go to trial and you object to something, because that's you hear that a lot, right? I object. This shouldn't be in there. You have to object properly. You can't just say object. There has to be more to it. You have to state the reason for the objection. It has to be a legal reason. You can't just say I object and expect me to hold something out. You have to give the legal reason. And there's a proper method that you have to state and ask me to do things for it to be recognized on appeal. And if you don't know this, you cannot at a later date complain. Well, I didn't know that. You understand? You still don't want a lawyer. I will give you a free lawyer. Is this voluntarily, knowingly, and intelligently made? No one's forcing you to do this. Okay.
Go back to the intelligently, please. You just skipped over it.
Knowing all this, are you sure that you still want to represent yourself? I got to tell you, I think that you look like a great guy. You look like you're upstanding. I have no problems that you represent yourself. Understand that you need to be careful what you tell them, though. Everything that you say, even if you think you're hurting yourself by admitting one thing or the other, you could be hindering your case, meaning hurting your case, even if you think you're helping yourself. Do you understand? I'll make you a deal. If at any time you want a lawyer, all you got to do is ask and I'll give you one. Really. If you ever feel like you're under the gun, that you feel like someone's taking advantage of you, I'm happy to give you a lawyer at any time. I want you to understand now, as a condition of your bond, though, I'm ordering you not to drive until you have a Texas driver license and a liability insurance. I'm ordering you not to drive. And I'm going to have you sign with me today an affidavit promising me you're not going to drive. If I find that you drive, I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand?
I have personal.
Okay. You are not allowed to get into the driver's seat of a car and drive, convey, travel, however you want to term it. You cannot do that. And if I find that you do that, I'm going to put you in jail and I'm going to make your bond so high, your head's going to spontaneously combust. Do you understand?
That way from my rights to anything? Or
no, but I'm telling you that you can't drive, convey, get into the driver's seat of a car. If you do, you're going to go to jail because I will revoke your bond. Do you understand? The only conditions I'm putting on you now are 3. No weapons, no picking up new cases, and don't get into the driver's seat of a car and drive, convey, travel. Are there any other adjectives that you can think of?
Sure there are, but
I guess I'll put et cetera so that it tries to cover any type of wording, so to speak. All right. So, Mr. Ematom, I'm going to find that you are okay to represent yourself. We need you to sign a form that you're going to do that.
Even if I don't consent to any of these charges, because I do have my paperwork, I do have.
If you don't consent, just go. If you don't think we have jurisdiction, look, if I didn't think anyone had jurisdiction over me, do you think I would be here? If I was in your shoes? Hell no, man. If I didn't think that someone didn't have jurisdiction over me to be anywhere, I'm not going there. I'm not going to get out, take a shower, put my clothes on, because I like to be naked, right? You know, I'm not doing anything like that, you know? So if you don't think we have it, just go. Otherwise, you're here. You know we do, right? Because if you,
I don't know. That's why I thought.
let me ask you this. If you just took off now, what would happen? There you go. What does that warrant mean? What does it mean?
On, or what do you mean as far as like the warrant?
As far as jurisdiction is concerned, do you think that, look, do you think that an officer is going to go out and actually pick someone up if they didn't think they had jurisdiction to do it? Do you know how much trouble they would get in? Do you know if Stephen went out there and arrested someone now just for shits and giggles, do you know how much trouble he would get in? Right? If he had no reason to do it, do you know how much trouble he would get in? Right, a lot. He'd lose his job. He'd probably get sued. Right? Can't claim immunity. He'd be toast, Swiss cheese. So that's what I'm saying. If you didn't really think that we didn't have jurisdiction, then go.
I had to take care of this matter
Because you know we have jurisdiction.
I don't know, because I was gonna go to 515 arrest and file my lawsuit, my civil lawsuit with the officer who did arrest me because they did some unlawful, unconstitutional things that they did to me at that time. So I was gonna take it there, you know. I didn't believe they had jurisdiction over me.
I would wait to see how this case goes first before you do that. You know, see how the case goes first before you start jumping the gun.
Like, that's what I was waiting.
You know, but ultimately, you know, if I didn't think anyone had jurisdiction over me, I'm not going to go there, man. I have enough important things to do in my life as it is. I mean, you've been sitting here since 8:30 in the morning, where it's now nearly 1 o'clock. You know what I mean? Really. Let's get this thing done. That way you can move on with your life. We can move on with our life and just everybody be happy. That's what it's about. All we want to do is protect our city. That's all we want to do, you know, and I'm going to do it at all costs. That's it. All right. I'm going to have you sign this affidavit. After that, we'll get you out of here. And so, Mr. Emitom, you were going to have to make a plan to meet with Mr. Petrov here so that you guys can exchange evidence. He is our chief DA here. He's the one who gets all the evidence. He's the one that's going to present it to you. You can either do it here in court with us, or you can meet with them at their office, because you're going to have to get the evidence to look at it regardless. I'm happy to take any motions that you have now, and I can look at them, and then we can come back at a later date and I can roll on it for you. I see that you have a bunch of papers. I'm happy to take anything that you have and I'll take a look over it, you know.
The clerk, last month. Motion of
Do you
discovery.
see anything?
Okay, I have the copy.
Which clerk did you file it with?
I have it right here, the copy.
He filed it with the federal clerk at the Department of
was with-
Transportation.
Marilyn Burgess.
Is that for us? It's your clerk, right?
This is just-
We would still get it then, right, or no?
Yeah, and this is the reason called them last month.
You filed it under this case number or the felony court case number?
No, I filed it for this one on August 9th. I have this case number on there, 2522688.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I don't see anything. Oh, wait a second. I see a motion for discovery. Is that it? It's a motion for discovery?
Yes,
Is that the only one that you've done?
so far.
Okay. I have to talk to officers and back. If you give me 5 minutes, let me take a look at it. And then I'm going to give you a copy so that you can look at it as well. Let me print it out.
Stick around,
Um,
guys, because this is great.
Pavel, I'm printing it
Victoria,
out
I
for you.
love
If you want
you.
to
I
just take a
mean,
look at it real quick.
Victoria, hi.
You done with them right now, Your Honor?
No, I need him to swear to this, please.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just go back there real quick. You should have, will you take a look and tell me if you can agree with it or not?
Sure, Judge. I'll take a look at it.
Oh, good luck, Chaos. Good luck.
Well, just to counsel, meaning to, you're not getting an attorney, you're representing yourself. Yeah. That's what this box, that box is.
You didn't have any appointments, did you? Really?
We're waiting on Jill.
She came snagging.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Going back on the record.
And now the fun begins, guys.
All right, Mr. Emitom, I've gotten your motion. Have you read it?
Yes, Your Honor, I've read through it.
And
Your Honor, at this time, the state would, the state wouldn't even be able to comply with this order because it's asking for an immediate order of discovery. It sounds like spontaneously going to give
well, other than
the
that,
opposing party.
I mean, and is he asked?
And it's not, the language is not aligned with criminal procedure or penal code. But beyond that, the only two pieces that are requested that are reasonable that I can produce with a timeline are 1 and 7.
So, Mr. Emitom, understand that you will get discovery, but sometimes it takes time. It's not immediate. It takes time to build a case, to get videos, 911 calls, reports from officers. It takes time. It's not immediate. In your motion, I guess it says he wants it immediate.
Immediate order.
There's just no way. But we will get it to you as he gets it, he will give it to you. I can grant you the order. I will take off the immediate provision, but I can grant you everything that you want. I'll give you their case file. I can give it to you when they get it.
Yes, but Judge, this discovery order is requesting things outside of the scope of discovery.
Well, I'm not going to give him the kitchen sink. I mean, like what?
It sure is.
Everything else. So 1 and 7 are aligned. 1 is requesting any documents, papers, books, accounts, letters, photographs, videos, which are body cam, objects or tangible things not privileged which constitute or contain evidence. Of course, I'm going to hand that over.
Okay.
2, any and all names of any witnesses, the Harris County Superior Court, State of Texas.
I mean,
County
that's
of
so
Harris,
broad, Mr.
And
Emitom.
or any political.
I mean, you want every
subdivisions.
single witness in Harris County? That's what that's asking for.
You have to properly represent myself for the case.
Judge, listen.
That's 4.2 million people. Really? Really?
So that doesn't, it's
I mean, I'm not going to grant that. That's silly.
too
You want-
broad, it doesn't go into the scope of
Imagine
discovery.
any and all names of any witness for the Harris County Superior Court, State of Texas, County of Harris, or any political subdivision thereof may have. That's so broad that to even try to comply with that would take years. I mean, in relation to this case, yes, nothing else matters. The only thing that matters is this case and nothing else. So I'm happy to comply with the names of witnesses in this particular case. Yes, I will do that. And I can mark on there for this case only. Are you okay with it?
Your Honor,
Yeah, only-
in the event,
Vibers are exceptional. We can do better, guys, because we're vibers.
the event that you were to grant something like that, it would need to be filed by the defendant. That what you're granting is what is written, not what is subsequently modified.
Okay, so I
So,
guess
The language just needs to
I'll
be
just, okay,
corrected.
so what I'm going to tell you is, you're right, Paul. I mean, right.
So
so
I just wanted to clarify that for the
You're
record.
representing yourself. I can't do the work for you, right? He so kindly is reminding me that because I'm trying to, right. So that's too broad.
We can go down the list if you wish, but.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, we have.
So 3, a true and complete original alleged contract with wet ink signatures between the petitioner, the Harris County Superior Court, State of Texas, and/or political subdivisions thereof may have law states that in order for the Harris County, and he's not, it's not even citing law, valid lawful contract between the petitioner, let them bring it forward for petitioner's inspection or immediately dismiss all charges. I believe this is going into UCC. This is not.
I mean, here you're going into the sovereign citizen type language.
Just common law.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, I will not be agreeing to
Doesn't apply
that.
here. There's no, I mean, you're saying a true and complete original and or certified copy of the alleged is not even spelled correctly, contract with wet ink signatures between the petitioner
Oh,
and
that
the Harris
hurt.
County Superior Court. I mean,
So I'm opposed to that.
what contract?
Contract complaint, whatever. I know this is statutory and it's not going over common law, so I'm not familiar with the statutes like I explained before.
Well, you're a lawyer now. You're gonna have to familiar yourself with it.
Try me on statutes. I want to be tried on common law.
You're gonna have to do it. I'm not sure. There's no common law here. It's, everything's done by statute. There's no common law here. It's all done by statute. And since you're the lawyer, you need to know that.
I recognize the steps of the statutory steps. That's why I don't recognize.
So
being tried in the
let
jurisdiction.
me ask you this. How on earth are you gonna represent yourself if you don't even know that?
Once I get everything I need in my discovery, I
He's gonna give you body cams. He's gonna give you 911 call. He's gonna give you witness lists. And that's it. Right? Is there anything else that would be in here?
going down the list.
I would, so there may be dash cam I need to check. So I haven't gotten the body cam or dash cam yet. I need to check what all this.
Mr. Emmett Tom, I mean, let's get real. If you're having problems with things of this very elementary nature, how are you gonna represent yourself? I'm happy to give you a lawyer. You know, but some things are just, I mean, there's no,
We must conclude this hearing with the remainder of the list as well, and then we can go with,
hold on, just so he knows. So number 4, a true and complete original and or certified copies of the criminal record of the attorneys of record, judge, magistrate, pro tem,
I want to see that
commissioners,
too. All your criminal
witnesses,
records.
as well as all officers of this court. Yeah,
that is opposed.
that doesn't apply here, really. I mean, you don't, my criminal history, you think I have criminal history?
Do I need to ask to go to a higher court or a higher court look at this matter, or?
I mean, you certainly can. You can do anything you want to in life until someone says no, right? But I don't know where you're gonna get. I mean, appellate courts need jobs too. How far are you gonna get? I don't know. How much money are you gonna waste? I don't know. A true and complete certified copy of all oaths, commissions, as well as bonds of all officers of the court, including but not limited to deputies, court clerks, judges, magistrates, pro tems, commissioners that have or may decide to involve themselves in this matter, appointed or elected, signed under penalty for perjury on and for the official.
Victoria, that's you.
Well, I don't know what bonds you're talking about. What bonds? Like James bonds?
Appearance bonds, bid bonds,
Which ones?
appearance bond, bid bonds.
I'm not familiar with that.
Up to that.
Political affiliation of any and all states, witnesses, and all officers of the courts. Well, I can't.
State is opposed.
I mean, I really. Any evidence which in any way is exculpatory to the case? Yes.
Anything in state's possession, I'm unopposed to. I will produce anything exculpatory that's in our possession, but. regarding the case.
Number 8, documented proof of claim of injury signed under penalties of perjury with all immunities waived from the judges of this court, attorneys of record, the Harris County Superior Court, State of Texas, County of Harris, as well as this court, and for the official record. Documented proof of claim of injury signed under penalties of perjury. So what are you referring to there?
Or the Opposing party who made the complaint
What?
against me, whoever made the complaint against me, who's the opposing party.
Okay, well, the Harris County District Attorney's Office.
Party that they had the complaint, who's the, I don't recognize who that is.
What do you mean you don't recognize?
Said the state of Texas or Harris County's, what was that?
Right, so they alleged that you did something unlawful. As a result, the officer arrested you and then brought that matter. Number one, I found probable cause in this case, and then a grand jury indicted you on your felony case. So it's the Harris County.
I haven't been indicted on that. I just came from upstairs. I haven't been indicted on that case yet.
Has it been indicted or no? Well, I mean, they have, I think, up to 180 days to indict you, but
Has not been done.
not been indicted yet. Okay. I
Does
mean, I
he?
guess, would
does
it
he
be the
know?
information is that he's asking for? But you want the charging instrument, I guess, is what you want.
Your Honor, again, I think it's just a
I know that it's,
actual misunderstanding, but if it were rephrased correctly, I can better understand what is being asked. And therefore, that's why I cannot agree to this order, because
I get it, but I'm
It
trying to
just
go through it with him so that he
doesn't
understands.
if it
He's
aligns
asking.
with if it aligns with something I can understand, sure. I mean, I can understand what's being asked and then I can turn it over, but I don't have that. This is not that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here, you know, I'm,
Yeah, I don't know what's not being understood mostly. Like,
here, let's go through number 13, just because there's a lot here that you got 16 and it's already 130. The CUSIP number tied to this case, which will show that this court and or officers of the court are profiting off this case, and it is trading on the stock market on and for the official public record.
I mean, I am the trustee for the name Eton Ematon. Birth certificate's right here. Administrator, I'm the beneficiary for their name. I've been the trustee. I have all my paperwork that I need to prove to the court. I mean,
And
that's
that
where I
may
made the
well be
trial.
good for
That's-
federal stuff, but not for us. This is state.
I'm familiar with a lot of statutes, so yeah.
A copy of all officers of the court registration report and profile, which is registered under Dun and Bradstreet on and for the official public record. Yeah, you're gonna have to go through this motion more. It needs to be more specific. I'm, you know,
Point just for the record's purposes, to say as opposed to this motion in its entirety at this time.
so not 1 and 7 then.
Not with immediate, not that language.
Oh, right,
And we
okay.
cannot modify that.
So it needs to be more specific. You need to have a more like realistic guideline. They can't give you stuff immediate because he may not even have it in his possession. So I can't order him to give you something that he doesn't have in his possession.
How soon can they get, next trial date with it? I mean, my next court date, will they have it, or how soon?
I don't even know. I mean,
Body cam and dash, I can escalate that by the next court date. The lab, I'm unsure of a timeline at this time. The lab of the
Marijuana.
substance.
okay. And I'm
So-
gonna tell you now, it takes a lot. It takes quite a while to get labs done because, I mean, you imagine, we live in a city with 4 million people. You know how many people get arrested with alleged illegal substances that have to be tested? You get in line in front of everybody else.
I do have the lab results from the store that I got it from. I had the store that is in the lab result papers that they got it from in Houston, so I could submit that as well if it makes it quicker.
I mean,
I know y'all still have to do your
I
own.
know that you're saying that, but remember, there's always two sides to the story.
True.
So they need to test what they have to see what that is. And it's gonna take a while, but it'll get done. You just be patient, but it'll get done.
At this point, we are pending body cam dash in the lab. That is what
Okay.
discovery is pending.
Typically what we do is we'll set it out 30 days and then we'll just have you come back. And when you come back in 30 days, we'll see where they are. And then at that time, you guys can make a plan to go over the evidence. And you're not gonna give him a copy though. He's just gonna have to review it
I believe it's subject to inspection.
Right, so you're gonna have to come, bring a computer.
USB.
It's not through VHS, it's through,
I'm unaware. I'll familiarize myself more before the next court date of the transfer of.
you're gonna probably need to bring yourself a computer that has a CD-ROM, because usually they have stuff on CD-ROM drives or on CDs so that you're gonna have to be able to look at it. Any kind of dash cam, any kind of body cam, they usually put it on a CD-ROM or on a CD for you to be able to look at it. The only other thing I need you to do is I need you to swear to us that you're not gonna drive. I am making it a condition of your bond.
I hold that until.
No.
But how this,
Bill, hello. This isn't a court case at all. We're talking about stock market and Dun& Bradstreet. This is all financial information. So get your pen and paper out and learn how to do your finances and play on the stock market.
some stuff in my paperwork, I don't drive, I don't go by
No,
driver's license,
no.
I have my passport that I do go by.
Nope. I need you to do it now. Okay, I need you to do it. And I'm making it a condition of your bond that you sign
I
the
forgot
document
about that.
that you're not going to drive,
I don't want to
convey.
contract or consent to anything or agreement to anything like that, because I'm still trying to see the,
I'm gonna revoke your bond if you're not, if you don't sign it, I'm gonna revoke your bond. That's it.
so I gotta be forced to sign that. If I don't sign it, I can't have the option to take that
Oh,
paper.
no, I'm not, you don't have to sign it, but I'm gonna revoke your bond.
But in what matter of that,
Sorry,
I don't understand why my bond will get revoked because of that.
because I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to drive, convey, travel, any way you want to put it, behind the wheel of a car in Harris County, Texas, unless you are properly licensed with a Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name.
And liability on my cars, I go by my US passport now. I don't go by my Texas driver license. I don't license it anymore. Not commercial.
Nevertheless, I'm having you sign a document that you understand and that you promise that you're not going to do it.
I don't understand it fully, but that's why.
If you don't, that's okay, but I am going to revoke your bond. And that's it. Correct.
Being forced to sign this right now, or it's like, because
You don't have to sign it. You know the consequence. You're hearing it now. If you've never heard it before, you're hearing it now for the entirety of the case.
I mean, I could get my driver's license. to show
If you do, if you get your driver's license and show me
But I'm
that you
not a
have,
driver, I'm not a commercial driver. I don't engage in commerce. I don't do it.
do you think that the 5-year-old kid that gets hit and killed in a car, or the 69-year-old grandmother that ends up paralyzed from an accident, cares whether you were conveying, whether you were in commerce, non-commerce? Injuries don't care whether you're conveying, whether you're traveling. Accidents happen whether you're conveying, whether you're driving, whether you're traveling. That doesn't care, right? When you get into an accident, it doesn't matter in what method
That's
you're
what he
doing.
said.
An accident is just that. And if you have an accident, I want to make sure that the other party will be taken care of. I'm only asking you to follow the law. I'm not asking you to split the atom here. Great.
Break the law or any of that, but
Great.
I don't
I'm
engage
asking you
in
to sign this. If you don't, you don't have to, but I'm going to revoke your bond. That's it. And Mr. Emeton, if you get a Texas driver's license and you get insurance, I won't take this deal off.
That's what I believe in, and that's believe the Constitution. I don't, was it,
That's okay.
they
Driving.
trying to apply that I need to get a license and insurance when I used to be a commercial driver for this day. I don't commercial drive anymore. I don't do medical transportation. I'm just a.
Did you hear what I said about an accident, about whether you're
I
conveying or
understand
traveling?
exactly what you mean about the accident.
Okay,
I know if I was to get on the accident road with no insurance, I could get sued and there'll be a civil matter and I go to jail. I understand that. That's why I travel very cautious. I don't.
you just said I drive.
I'm saying I
I
travel
drive.
very
You
cautious.
said the magic words.
I was a driver.
Come on, don't be Helen Keller. Come on. And I'm trying to protect all of Harris County.
I'm not an
You're
engineer.
protecting you. I'm protecting all the 4.2 million people here. That's what I'm doing. Because if you get into an accident, I know that you're not going to be out a dime out of your pocket. But all those other people, they're going to be out a crap load of money. And I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every single person of Harris County. And I don't care if I offend you. I don't care if I make you mad. I don't care if your sensibilities are upset. Don't care. I don't. All I want is every person protected. And that's it. And I'm doing what the law requires. I'm not asking you to do anything that's not outside the law. And you, as acting as a lawyer, should be able to look it up and see, because it's all in the transportation code. So you can sign it. If you don't, I'll have you meet with Stephen. That's it.
I just want my rights reserved.
They're reserved.
I'm waiving my rights to the court.
No.
Signing that's waiving my rights. It's a contract. It's me.
What right are you waiving?
My right to travel. That's infringing my right to travel with the Constitution.
No, take the Dodge Patas.
14th, I don't know what that means.
Happy trails. Use your feet. You can travel with your feet.
I can, but I live in Austin. I don't live here in Houston.
Take a bus. Take an Uber. But I want to make sure if you're caught driving, I'm going to put you in jail and I'm going to make your bond so high you will spontaneously combust, because I want you to understand that I'm in business and I'm protecting every single person I can. And that's it.
The court forcing me to sign this right now.
No,
Threaten me with jail or arrest if I don't sign this. Right
correct. That is correct. That's correct.
Imprisonment if I don't sign this. This is on the record.
It's on a record. I have a reporter right here and it's on video. Can you file the bond conditions as well? No driving without a license, please.
This is it right here.
That, and I'm going to have them file it just in, so I can give you a copy as well.
This is a case, he's on docket tomorrow. His conditions don't make sense, basically. So it's saying,
What's the cost number?
251-5787. And his appearance is late tomorrow.
So what's the problem?
So it looks like he was ordered to get an interlock within 30 days. I'm assuming.
30 days? What? No.
I'm assuming the vehicle needed to be repaired because that's what it says. This is before me, so but it says that when his vehicle is repaired.
We do interlocks, we do a week.
He actually could have already driven and have been picked up by now. He actually could be in jail right now for driving. He could be, especially since his car does not have a front plate on it. I mean, yeah. Jurisdiction happens when you have handcuffs on, though. Oh man. Well, the judge did great with him. Nothing else happens, right? Let's just go a few more minutes and see.
30 days?
Yeah. And then he had a portable, but the problem is he got the portable removed once the interlock was installed. But it says that he's not supposed to drive.
Does he have anything now?
He has an interlock. but he doesn't have the portable. So the officer is trying to figure out if she's supposed to write a BVR because he got the portable, he sent it back. And nobody told him to send it back. But the orders kind of contradict.
So he's not driving, you say, right?
Well, he is driving now, but his order says he's not supposed to drive because he's saying that he didn't know that he was supposed to have both. He thought once he got the interlock, he could have the.
No, look, it says here, no driving because car in shop and he wants a portable device. What happened is his car was in the shop because the car was in the shop, he couldn't drive.
Right.
But I told him if he ever wanted to drive,
You have to come back.
he's gotta come back, he's gotta get the interlock. So as long as he's got the interlock, he can drive. Then he's gotta come back and let us know.
Okay, but he needs to come back tomorrow because.
So let me text the lawyer. Okay.
Wait, so you don't want a BVR then?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. Thank you. I'll let his officer know.
Here, hold on, let me give this back to you. Okay.
Just real quick, Your Honor, this is a copy of the no driving affidavit form with that suffice also, or you still want to sign up about the state's bond conditions?
Yeah, I guess that's okay.
Okay,
That's all right.
I just wanted to make sure.
That's all right. Okay. Mr. Emitom. So we're gonna make you a copy and then you can go on your way. Just be careful. You made a copy.
That's a copy of it.
Okay, just be careful. Don't pick up any new cases. Get a license, get the insurance, come back, and then we'll let you drive, okay? All right, bud. It's still good enough for me. So I'm gonna put here, you swore him to this, right?
No. I just need a copy.
Come on, Melissa.
Run like the wind, bullseye.
Judge, you want to go over the docket?
Yeah, come on.
Page 1.
2501.
Page 11. Martinez, the lady that left you.
2501.
Judge, that was it.
That's it. All right, guys. Yeah, sorry, one more. Hey, I want you to know that even though you signed this, is that an E? Are you still on the record? Can you go on real quick? Just real quick. Is this say EZ?
Hold on. Okay, Judge, go ahead.
Okay, so we're back on the record in 2522688. I had Mr. Emitom sign an affidavit promising us he's not going to drive, travel, convey in a car. And he signed it as, it says EC, is that right? ECE / all rights reserved, UCC 1-103. Is that your signature? Okay, I'm still gonna hold you to this if I find that you drive, and I'm gonna tell you now, you will end up going to jail. Do you understand? Understand, I'm gonna hold you to it if I catch you driving. It's gonna go sideways real quick. Okay, good.
No,
All right.
oil rights reserved. He has an accent.
Done. Done. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for being patient.
Whew. So that was Judge Fleischer's courtroom today. We didn't have time for any other courtrooms. We just didn't have time. Yeah, we do. Just kidding. Look, just nothing big. How about, nope, that's too long. Listen, I'm just gonna look real quick. I have a real short one, but they're in the wrong folder, so I don't know how short they are. There we go. We can't just go to Judge Fleischer's courtroom. So let's just really check in. Is Lori here? Oh no, Lori's not here. That's all right. Lori can see this later. We're going to check in on Lori's husband real quick because we haven't seen him since he got his hair cut. So let's just check in on Lori's husband real quick. Lori's husband's courtroom is very loud, apparently. Oh, I had to turn it up because I was making a video. Hey, Lori's here. All right. Lori, the reason we haven't seen your husband is because he's been out. There's been another judge in town. Not the other one that we saw. No. I mean literally in your husband's seat in his desk. So this is only a minute and a half long, and you're going to get to see who is replacing him right now. I turned it down, but I don't know if you guys want to just turn it down a little bit. Yep, that's what we just found out. We just watched it get dismissed. Yep, that's the way the cookie crumbles sometime. Okay, we're going to watch this guy right here.
Eventually, I've tried.
You know, you'll obviously stop drinking someday, right?
Yeah.
That's when you die. You can stop before that if you want. And, it's a question of whether, alcohol is going to control your life or you're going to control your life. Now, I don't, have you had this issue before that you've been in jail for disorderly conduct?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many times?
How many times?
Yeah.
That's something I can't count.
Well, I mean, are you getting tired of it yet?
But Lori, it says it right there. It says it. Look, it says it right there. Don't worry about this one. This one, the janitor must have left that there by accident. He aged a lot. He aged a lot.
It gets old.
Yeah, I suspect that it does. Look, I don't want you to have to spend. I can get you help if you want help, but you got to want help. And if you don't want help, what the court's inclined to do is just make this a jail sentence. I'll tell you what. At least we're going to get you dried out. I'm going to make it a $25 fine and court costs. There'll also be a 5-day jail sentence, and I'm not suspending.
5 days on an open container.
I'm sorry.
5 days on an open container.
Yes, sir. For the disorderly conduct. Good luck.
Never come back to your county.
I'm never coming back to your county. Randy Thorpe, is that a place in Ohio? Randy Thorpe? I think that's where it is. Never go to Randy Thorpe with an open container. You'll spend 5 days in jail drying out. And you have to pay $25. That's a lot. So I have to delete this. Well, I might accidentally play this tomorrow if I don't delete it, but it's only a minute long. So, guys, thank you so much for coming out. Thank you. While we were streaming, I uploaded the next part of the Kelly trial. So now we're up to day 6 p.m. And the medical examiner is still on the stand. So that's what's going on there today. I hope that you guys have a great day. What is today, Thursday? Today's Thursday. So tip your waiters. Oh, wait, wrong place. Wrong place. Todd Todd was the first one to see the video that I uploaded today. Thank you, Todd, though. Thank you. Good Todd. Always be good, Todd. Oh yeah, it's Licking. Yes, it's Licking. That's exactly where we are. We're in Licking Township. I forgot about that. Yes. Thanks, Chris. I don't know where they're in jail. I've never seen jail with like curtains and a stage or what. I don't even know where they are. It looks like he's giving a speech, not being sentenced. Totally. Totally. See my categories. All right, guys. Behave, and I will see you tomorrow.
Got these lines that goes digital dreams. Through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her stream sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Freedom tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Her eyes near a sky so blue. In her jokes, there's a truth so true. With each string, she brings the light. Turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. Streaming tales late into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm.